Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about the biggest difference in Perth as compared to Singapore. First up, let's talk about the food. There are pros and cons to the food in Perth. The pros being that it's so much easier to find organic food in Perth, whereas in Singapore, a lot of times it's fast food and convenient food that is most often made available to us. So that's the pros of having organic food in Perth. Then again, the food here is so expensive. Okay, not so expensive, but it's 8.9% higher than the average prices of food in Singapore. So that's a con about it. So let's say if you're wanting to have bubble tea here, it's like $10, $11 for a cup if you order through Uber Eats. But if you buy a bubble tea in Singapore, it's only probably going to set you back like $4, $5.
For the SGD AUD.
Yeah, SGD and AUD, but still, I still find it so ridiculous. Like a bubble tea is like more than $10, you know? Whether it's in AUD or SGD, I don't feel like the conversion rate matters that much because it's just one, right? 1.1. So I feel like it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to get a drink for over $10. Definitely though, like the pros outweigh the cons because I feel like it's so much better to have organic food rather than like eating just fast food all the time, because it's so hard to get like gluten-free stuff. If you want to search it in Singapore, it's so hard to get them, right? But here you can like, most of the restaurants here offer that choice to you, so it's really good. Like this pizza, the dough is sourdough, you have the option to choose, and you can get like gluten-free for $4 extra. So there is a choice for you. I'm now at the beach having some pizza. I can never do it in Singapore because the beach is so hot in Singapore, but here it's like at the right temperature. So that's a huge pros to being in Perth. The lifestyle here is so different. I feel like when I'm here, I'm so much calmer and more collected, whereas in Singapore, I'm just rushing everywhere all the time. And it allows me to take a step back and focus on things that are truly important, like my health and my diet. So your lifestyle will change and you become slow, but not slow in a way where you're useless, you're lazy, no. Slow as in like more important things become more important to you, like you prioritize things differently, but you still have a schedule and stuff. Yeah, just different priorities. The quality of life is very important here. You see so many people around the beach and they're just enjoying their life here. It's just so hard to see in Singapore where everyone is just car honking like beep beep all the time. Here it's just much cooler and collective, and it changes your mindset in a certain way. Yeah, and focus on your health, for example. Even like the hair products that I start using, like and the shampoo we use, we start like using more organic stuff, and it's just uplifting the whole, from head to toe. Some of the products that I used in Singapore, like my hair, I go to this like hair place for my hair. They gave me a bottle of argan oil, and I looked at it, and it says Balcada, which is just like next door, right next to us. So they get their hair stuff from Perth, and I thought it's pretty cool. So it's really easy for me to find those products here.
Yeah, like you need less stimulation here. Because even just sitting here on the beach, on the fresh air, got the fresh green grass here, it's enough, you know?
Yeah.
It's just such a natural sight. When humans were around at first, all they wanted is don't get eaten by the tigers, get some food to eat, and you know, have family, have fire, have warmth, don't be too cold.
Yeah. And you know the first thing when I came here, like the very first day, I think you brought me to the beach, Scarborough Beach, and I was like, oh my god, the grass is so green. the sky is so loud, and the contrast is really beautiful. And you feel like there's so much more to life. And then from there, I feel like my goals became clearer, and then you can work towards it. I also feel like things are so much more achievable here. Like if I want to buy a house in a HDB in Singapore, it would take me 20, 30 years to pay off the loan. But here I feel like it's possible to own a house. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And at that point, people never truly say how difficult it is to own a car here. I've known, or to drive around here. I've known people who haven't had a car when they first got here. It took them like 13 years or 7 years to actually have a car and drive around. The third difference that I'm going to talk about is it's really hard to get around without a car. I feel like every video I do about Perth, it's just not possible without a car. So I have to mention it in every video.
only because of your timeline. You're still adjusting to the different timeline. Public transport is essentially slower here. But let's say you go to school, every time you go to school, high school, you get on public transport, it's slower than being driven there. Because there's so many stops and everything. But you get used to it. Because you just come here and you're used to the super efficient public transport.
That's why this video is for Singaporeans, as because fast public transport is our expectation. So when you come here, it feels like yeah. So when you come here, it feels like you can't go anywhere because it's, especially during summer. So that's the third difference. So if you want to truly live here and be comfortable here, like settling down, you have to have a car and know how to drive. Everyone I meet here agrees with me. You have to have a car. So do you agree with me on all the above points? Have you been to Perth before? If you have, comment and let me know. What do you think is different, Perth and Singapore? I would love to hear them. See ya!